Hi there, this is Deborah O'Grady, the brand coach, and today I'm going to be talking to you about messaging and positioning yourselves in the marketplace so you don't look the same as everybody else. So today we're going to be talking about creating positioning and messaging that's true to you and is going to really help you stand out. So what is a brand? There's so much conflicting and confusing information out there, but there's huge power in your brand. So I want you to think about how you interact with brands, all the services out there, products. So say, for example, everybody queuing outside of this store, they are not queuing up for just a bag to put stuff in, okay? They are stood there because of the status symbol and how they're going to feel emotionally when they purchase this brand. It's a status symbol. It's not just a bag. So when you're thinking about creating a brand for you, you want people to really want you so badly that there's an emotional connection there. Apple's a brilliant example too. They have created this brand based on creativity and innovation, and everything from their marketing to their in-store experience and their packaging is just really very much design led. So let's just talk about what a brand is and what a brand isn't. So a brand is not marketing. It is not marketing. It is a great way of marketing your business, but a brand is actually a place in which you can market from. So the way I describe branding is like a house. So your brand is the very foundation of your business. So creating a marketing campaign when you've not got clarity on your brand is like buying a pair of curtains for your house, but you've got nothing to hang it from. So we need to be really careful that we don't launch straight into marketing when we don't know who we're serving, how we want to position ourselves, how we want to speak to them, and where exactly we fit. There's always a gap in any market because we are so unique. We are just like all the brands out there and all the humans out there. We are so unique and we need to stand out and show our uniqueness. Logos and graphics. A logo is not your brand. You can actually create a brand that is amazingly successful without a logo. So if you just look at brands that are succeeding on Instagram, for example, sometimes you just can't see that logo. Okay, they are positioning themselves. They have messaging. There's a feel to their graphics or their photography. So you don't actually need a logo. PR is all about personal branding, and it's about telling the story of your brand. So unless you're clear about your brand, where can that story come from? And messaging is a huge part, and that's what we're going to be talking very briefly in this lesson. But messaging is a way of explaining your brand. It's an emotional connection of how you can use words, spoken or written, to connect with your audience. So this is a framework that I use, and I'm not going to go into all the elements of creating a brand, but I am going to talk to you today about your positioning. So the various elements in creating a brand, and ultimately it's collating all that information. So understanding about you, your sole purpose, what you are absolutely here to do. That isn't actually woo-woo. That's just you connecting to your true self. So there's an element of really understanding you. It's a soul-searching process that you really need to start thinking, what do I want in my business? What does success look like? The client truth is understanding your client, not in terms of what coffee they take, what, reams and reams of paper of ideal client work. This is about understanding what they are looking for and how you can give value in their life. And it's also creating that deeper connection with them. And it's understanding who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. Category truth is competitor analysis, and it's so important. I hear so many entrepreneurs that say, I don't want to compare myself. However, your buyers will be. So you need to understand that you don't sound like a me too. So the best bit of advice I can give you guys is to really start looking at your competitors, and you'd be really surprised, because when you actually look at your competitors, it's amazing the information that you can find out about what you don't want to be seen as in your brand. The customer truth. People often talk about their services. They're talking about the process and how they deliver and their services. But actually, what's that brand promise? What's that transformation that you're offering? Because that is where the sale is. So let's talk about positioning. So positioning is how you are perceived in the marketplace. It's connecting to who you are, your absolute truth, and claiming that unique place. When you've really uncovered your brand truth, that's when you can start marketing it. So here's some examples of brand positioning, and they're brands that I've created. So when you look at this positioning statement, what does it tell you? Your go-to expert for making you the secret weapon to your business success. Okay, something about business, go-to expert. A lot of people say that. I don't really understand what this person is gonna give me, how their services are gonna make me feel better, be better, better my life in some way. There's just not enough information there. And that really needs to grab somebody, because we're all trying to find out when we see something, what's that going to make any difference to my life? So that positioning was Rose Radford before she came to work with me. So her language, she's very, very friendly. And she's really, her energy, she's got really good energy. So it's like, hey, Rockstar, I'm Rose. I help female business owners unlock their full earning potential by equipping them with the mindset and strategies they need to create more wealth and freedom. And so we even went deeper on this to really connect with Rose's purpose and start talking about her mission. This is another client. So Rebecca is a whiz at Facebook ads. However, having looked at the customer research, nobody really wanted to be a Facebook ad master. Like, I've heard nobody say, I really want to master Facebooks today. It was the end result that they were creating Facebook ads because they wanted to reach their dream clients. And one of the bugbears is Facebook ads is just like so boring, so complicated, and majority of business owners do not want to learn that skill. So we positioned Rebecca from Facebook ad master to reaching dream clients with ease. And Rebecca has a way with how she presents and how she works with clients that she's extremely calming. It's one of her USPs. It's one of her brand superpowers. So this helped create Rebecca as a brand all about ease. So her photo shoot was in cozy clothes. She was in a spa. She was on fluffy bed linen. It was all about being at ease and how it doesn't have to, Facebook advertising doesn't have to feel icky. Gemma went. So Gemma was a business mentor. She still is a business mentor. But there's so many out there. So how could she stand out? So looking at working with Gemma and figuring out her brand, she was all about growth. And so we repositioned Gemma as a growth strategist. And it was all about whatever level of business you're at, we're always taking you to that next level. So how can you really start to think about your positioning and how you can make a difference in your business that you're heard? So I want you to start looking at your expertise. So take the emotion out and start searching for the proof of your expertise, because sometimes it's often that little bit in your career history that you don't really talk about that can actually make the difference in your brand. So create the proof that you cannot argue with. So when's the last time that you looked at your CV? When's the last time that you looked at all your career history? So if you've been keeping up to date with your LinkedIn profile, this is great because you've been kind of tracking your career moves. So I'm Deborah O'Grady, the brand coach. I'm design and marketing qualified. I'm life coach certified at 29. So I did a lot of purpose work in there. I've mentored branding agencies and marketing agencies. I helped create the first direct brand. Hugo Boss, I've worked with Adidas. I've ran 1,000 plus brand campaigns. So if you start looking at all these elements of what I've done to create brands, I can, looking at that experience there, I can actually say that I'm a brand expert. However, without looking and writing that down and looking at the facts, it can sometimes feel awkward going out there and saying, hey, I'm a brand expert, I'm a VA expert, I'm an online business manager. It can be very, very difficult. So I want you to start looking and searching for the proof of your truths. There's also something to consider here, that people out there less qualified than you are succeeding, and it's because they have taken their action. They are stepping out in their brand truths. So I want you to start collecting data about your company, and that company is you. So start collecting all the great things that you've achieved in personal life and in your career history. What are the hobbies? Are you super organised and that's what's led you into creating this business? So really start thinking about what you've done and what you can offer your clients. So I want you to start thinking about your bios, because bios are really important. And you also need to use a really slick positioning statement on your website. So this needs to underpin everything that you do, and it's your elevator pitch. So it's the first introduction to your audience. So I want you to state your name and title. Majority of entrepreneurs do not have titles. However, having a title is super easy for people to understand how they can buy from you. So what is it you do? Don't overcomplicate titles. You can get creative with copy, but for a title, if you create a title that nobody understands and you have to explain, you've lost them. It should communicate who you are and what you do in the first instant. And it should position you as the expert quickly and effectively. So it should state what field you're in. I've been working with a client who came to me recently, and her title was Change Instigator. But I didn't know what she did, and I didn't know in which sector that she worked in. So really make sure that you're really clear. Do not get creative with your titles. Also show how much knowledge you've got in this field. Totally claim it. Show relevant awards and achievements. And I see this a lot. Do not talk and write in the third party. We, okay? If you work with a big team, great, say we. But otherwise, it's you. People are interacting with you. People are going to buy into you, and people are going to buy your services. Make it personal. Use your brand personality. Use the tone of voice. Often when we're writing something, we create a whole bunch of fluff, or we're creating a brand shoot, which of course it's going to show the best of you, but it needs to be consistently you, so that when they start working with you or they jump on that discovery call with you, there's no surprises. So here's an example of my bios. So this is across Facebook page, your business page, and your personal page. So make sure that everything is consistent. Look at your Instagram accounts, your LinkedIn accounts, and always do a Google search. So if you've got any pictures out there of you that you don't want people to see, You've got things on your Facebook feed. Please tidy everything up. Like, make sure that you are showing up consistently, because there's no point in building a brand over here on your business page when personally there's some really bad pictures of you doing things that you really don't want your audiences to see. And also, it's showing up as you in your business as you are in your personal life. Like, there's only one of you, and you should be showing up the same you throughout. So I want you to start stripping it back. Do not overcomplicate this. It is so important. It seems such a simple thing. But people, as soon as they've changed their repositioning and their titles, they'd had a flurry of inquiries. I cannot tell you how important this is. So, job title, what are you? Do not overcomplicate it. Your job title does not set you apart. It shows how they can buy from you. Okay, what sector? So, I often think about a Dropbox. So when you're filling an online form in, think of that Dropbox. What sector are you in? Are you in business? Are you helping people personally? Reposition, don't reinvent. So if you're creating a brand new business, don't reinvent yourself, because you'll end up coming home to you. So look at how you can pull out the best bits in you. Keep it super simple. I keep saying this again and again because confused audiences do not buy. So show up consistently you. I keep saying the same thing again. Network at events. Have your elevator pitch to a T. Who you are, who you help, and what's the transformation. Social profiles. Don't try and be on everything. Choose 2 profiles, 2 social platforms that are going to really work for you. Instagram and Facebook are great, or LinkedIn. Just be consistently you. Website. You don't have to afford an all singing, all dancing website. A 1-page website. How they can work with you. A call to action. And also think about blogging, articles, getting the press. It's so easy to start writing and being brand you. So guess what my final note is? It's keep it simple. I want you to keep it so simple. Pull it all back. Who do you serve? How do you serve them? What's the transformation? And how can they buy from you? So go through and start collecting your expertise. It's going to be so helpful in positioning you as that expert. Keep it simple. If you're wanting more brand bites and advice, follow me on Instagram at Deborah O'Grady. Take care for now. Bye.